Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Super excited to see you here. If you are new, be sure to consider hitting that subscribe button down below if you enjoy all things social media, content, coaching, and entrepreneurship. But this video is actually a special edition because I have never done this type of video, so it is going to be a very different experience for me personally, just because today I have finally gotten my new MacBook Pro that I have been waiting for, I want to say like a month at this point, because I've done so much research and I didn't even want to be getting the new one because it was kind of pricey. But then at the end of the day, here's why I would recommend for you to get invest into your own computer, especially if you're somebody who is a coach, a consultant, a creator, or YouTuber or an influencer. You do need to have your devices fast. So here's what I have been using for the last almost 6 years. So I have been using the Air. And it actually does look like it's freaking new. But I mean, it is an old one. I do have a USB here because I only had 128 gigabytes of space, and that clearly was not enough. So I'll tell you that much. So I don't know how I've been managing to work on it because it has gotten slow. I have been having a hard time editing videos. I don't really edit a whole lot, but some videos like this one I would edit, and I'm definitely going to edit it on my new computer just because I know it's going to be way faster. Now, and here's the comparison. So obviously I haven't even opened it, so I have it right here. So I've got the box unopened. I obviously already opened the actual shipping box, and I cleaned it all and I wiped it because it is still Corona, so nobody really knows if it does live on the surfaces. So I just wanted to be extra safe. Now, so for me, I do feel like it's going to be a huge shift going from an Air to the Pro, just because I've seen a lot of videos on YouTube that do the, this kind of unboxing kind of video, and a lot of them go from Pro to Pro. And I'm like, I'm probably gonna have like a MacBook kind of shock or something like that. And here's the deal. And I have been so slowed down by the Air. I mean, I don't know if you experienced this, so let me know to the comment section if you did, because every single time I try to load a video, I physically cannot use the computer because it's like the ventilators, going so fast, and it's just not been a really good experience. So I'm also going to share with you that one little tool that I got with the MacBook Air that you're going to want to get before you actually set up your computer. And then the extra part that I'm going to have in this video is how I'm going to customize my computer, because I do have some extra things that I do want to install on it, and I'm going to show you all the apps and all the tools that I'm using. So if you are a coach, consultant, or content creator, I know you're going to love it, because I'm going to make sure that the computer is set up in the most efficient way and in the most way that it is productive, if that makes sense, because my MacBook Air is always super cluttered. The only time when it's not cluttered is when I actually clean it up and move everything to Google Drive or to Dropbox. So now let's get to the moment of truth. So it is pretty heavy, but I mean, the new version is actually as heavy as the Air, so it's not like as heavier. So I'm gonna go ahead and unseal the box. It's already started unsealing a little bit. So here we go. Which, by the way, I don't know if you are not a MacBook or not an Apple fan, then I don't know what you're doing on this video, because I totally am all with their products. And I am recording this video on my iPhone, so it may not be as smooth as some YouTubers, but I still wanted to pull it off. Just to show you. Okay, so now that I have it unsealed, I'm going to go ahead and open the box, which you may not be able to see the whole thing. So it is pretty heavy, so it is taking me a minute to pull it off. Okay, so now that we have the box unsealed, I'm going to put it here. And now we have the computer right here. So there's a little clip, so I'm going to pull it. And so the laptop is over here, so I'm going to set it aside for a second. And okay, so basically all there is in the box is just this little charger, which one thing that you have to keep in mind when you're getting this computer is it doesn't have all the ports in it. So there's one port for the microphone, or for your headphones, and then there's two ports over here and they're not looking like a regular charger. So there's pretty much no way for you to put a USB or anything like that, just because the charger does look like this, right? So what I did get is I got a little USB, it's called USB-C hub. So basically what it does is it's like a connection for you to be able to put the USBs, and you know, if you have like a camera and you want to put an SD card, that's also something that you're going to be able to connect. So I will have to pause the video, open it, and I'm going to show you how to use that. Alright, so I just opened this thing up. So this is how it looks like. So it's a tiny little thing, which over here, I don't know if you can see this, but there's basically all the, you know, USBs that you can connect. And then right here, so you see you can put the charger in over here. Then there's two, or is it like three? Yeah, there's like three USB ports. And there's also one for SD cards and things like that. Now, I got a pretty basic version because some of them do have like an HDMI and all kinds of different connections. You can always upgrade this. This was like, I want to say 35 bucks or something like that, but it is basically connecting to your computer. And what I like about it is it doesn't have the wire, because a lot of them just come with like a wire or a cord, and they tend to break, so I'm not a huge fan of that. Now, it also is the dark, so basically the space gray color, which I kind of was looking at it and I was like, I kind of want it to be the same color as the laptop, so it would be a nice addition, because I did get the space gray version of the Mac. So, and I will attach all the links below in the description box, so if you're curious where I got it, it was like one of the cheaper ones, because there are some who they're like $60 or $80. I wouldn't really invest that kind of money into this one little thing, but 30-40 bucks is a pretty reasonable price. So that is something I would highly recommend for you to get, especially if you have cameras, or if you are using, you know, USBs and external hard drives. So you're gonna have a hard time connecting those if you don't have one of these little hubs. Besides the cord, the only thing that is there is, I mean, obviously all of these, so there's like a little card over here. So let me show you how the box actually looks like from the inside. So right here, so that's where the laptop was. Here's where the charger was at. Now if I take this thing out, basically the two things that are here are just the chargers, right? So, which this one is actually the British one, because I ordered it on the amazon.co.uk, so I'm gonna have to, you know, switch it up for the European version. And then this little thing, which, I mean, that's the pretty usual charger that we all get when we get a Mac. So that's all there is to the box. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and open up the computer. I'm going to do it off camera, so like the whole little thing, and then I'm going to come back and show you the setup process. Okay, so now I'll show you what I did in order to set up my Mac. And the first thing that I do want to say, just because I have been looking at the picture of, you know, my face over here, and it's totally way better than my MacBook Air 2014, that's for sure. So, and it is sunny over here, so it is like pretty dang bright. Okay, so moving on, one thing that actually is pretty cool, so, and I will show it to you here as a separate video, but I do have to record it on my phone here because I do have the touch bar, which, I mean, all the new Macs, they do have the touch bar, the Pro version. So what it shows is it shows me how long I'm talking for on this video and the size of the video as well. So like so far we're like just under 400 megabytes, and for a 1 minute video that is a lot, because I mean clearly the picture is going to be pretty dang sharp. Okay, so the very first thing that I did, because that's literally everything that I use, is Google Chrome setup. So that's the first thing that I had set up. I customized it a little bit. If you want to customize your Google Chrome, here's what I want you to do. So what you want to do is you're going to go ahead and type in Google Chrome themes, because my mom actually asked me, she was like, hey, what kind of thing are you using over here? Why is it a different color? So you can go here and change it to whatever you want to change it. So, you know, there's plenty of different options, like so many. So that was the first thing. I already connected my Gmail here, so all the tabs and everything is synchronized, so I'm really happy about that, so I don't have to have any extra work to be done. So that's what goes as far as Chrome. Now, something that I use for screen recordings like that I do want to show, which is pretty dang cool, is this little tool called Hidden Me. So you can see the name right here. And what it does is I can show the desktop icons, or I can hide them. which I mean, right now I do have all the things that I moved, but for the purpose of this video, I am actually going to use it and hide them because it does make the whole thing pretty clean. Okay, so moving on. So let's go first of all into the system preferences, and I'll show you the things that I had set up. So the first thing that I'll always do is I connect my iCloud, which Apple makes you do that as the first step. So make sure that you always do that so all your devices are synchronized and you got all your information and everything important. Okay, so moving on. After that, I did go into the settings and I set it up as the dark mode. You can have it as a light mode if that's your thing. Or you can have it as an auto, so at a certain time in the evening, it's going to turn on and make it dark. I do prefer to have it dark just because I just love it. Personally, it makes it so much easier on the eye, and I do prefer it that way. So accent color, you can also change that if you want it, you know, let's say yellow or orange or pink. If that's your thing, you can do that. I do kind of prefer to keep it blue just because I'm used to that. And then the rest of the things, one thing that I did change is I just put the default web browser, which is Google Chrome. I'm not really somebody who's using Safari just because I have everything in Chrome and it's so much more convenient. And that is pretty much all I did here. Now, so desktop and screensaver, that's when where I actually changed the picture that you see in the background. So I put, you know, this one, and Apple gives you some different ones. I can always go in and like upload my own, but for now, I'm like, the computer is so fresh, so I'm just gonna keep whatever Apple gave me, right? So now your dock, this is where you can go ahead and change the size of the icons, how they magnify, and all things like that. So I didn't really change anything. You can move them to like the left or the right, but personally it just doesn't seem right to me, so I always keep them at the bottom. Okay, so the next thing, Siri, I don't know if you want to use it, you can. I just have never really gotten around to using it. Touch ID, Apple does make you set it up when you just launch your computer, so it is a pretty dang handy feature, so I do really love it. And so moving on, software update, I just got the computer and it already has an update, so I'm like, okay, I'm gonna do that here in a little bit. And then everything else, displays, I didn't really change a whole lot over here. The only thing that I did set up is the night shift, so in the evening I do prefer for it to be a little bit more yellowy, so it's gonna look like this instead of more on the blue side, right? So because I do wanna, you know, it's just easier on the eye in the evenings. And then I feel like that's about it. So trackpad, one thing that I did do here is I want to make sure when I just tap on it, that it clicks, because when I was just setting up computer, I had to actually physically click, and I'm just so used to tapping. So if you are used to tapping, that's something you want to do as well. Scroll and zoom, everything here is the same. I didn't really touch anything, so if you want, you can always change it up. And notifications, this is something that I do just because I get so annoyed with all the notifications and everything, so I do have it as a, you know, do not disturb mode. And I do allow some calls just because in case somebody does call me, like a friend, at, you know, 11 p.m, I can still pick it up, right? And I got all the apps over here, but I do prefer to pretty much block most of the apps because I don't really like notifications. So that's it for the system preferences. The next thing are the actual apps. So these are all the apps that I'm using right now. There's one missing, so I'll show you what that is here in a second. So Evernote, that's something that I have used a lot, and on top of the actual notes that the Macs have, which I do love because it synchronizes between all of my devices, the same thing as Evernote. But Evernote just has, you know, if I need to write, like if I were to write a book, I probably might have write something in Evernote versus Notes. But I do like to write things like lead magnets and blog posts and things like that. I do like to keep it in Evernote. It is pretty handy. The other thing that I do have that I set up is 1Password. So I do use it as my password manager where I store everything. So it is really convenient, so I don't have to remember all the things. And I do recommend that for cybersecurity. Slack is an app that I use for communication with my team. I use it with my clients. I use it with contractors. I use it for, you know, a lot of things like that, because I don't want to keep those conversations on Facebook or Instagram or any of those platforms. So Slack just makes it so much more easier. It's basically like Skype on steroids. So it has all the extra apps, all the integrations with, you know, Dropbox and Google Drive and things like that. So it is very, very convenient. WhatsApp. That's self-explanatory. I use WhatsApp a lot, and I do love to have it on desktop as well, so I don't have to constantly be answering on the phone, because that sometimes is a little bit annoying, right? Then the other app that you can actually see over here, Reflector 3, I do love to use it when I need to do a phone recording. So I can just go ahead and, you know, connect my phone through the screen share, so which I'm not going to do right now for the purpose of this video, but I do love it because it actually shows the phone and the screen, and it makes the whole thing look nice. And you can also have show your camera as well, right? Loom is another software that I use over here, which for some reason is not fully set up, even though I did that. So what Loom does is you can just like record quick video. So I do use it with clients. I do use it with my students if I want to record a quick video, and it just stores it on their cloud. So all you can do is you just send the URL to your customers, and it just makes it super, super easy. So I do love it. The other thing that I do use, which I love, is I just started using it actually, Copy Clip. So I'll show you how it looks like. Hopefully the computer is going to show it because we are on recording mode. So Copy Clip, that's what I use, because a lot of the times, here's what we do as creators, as content creators, as researchers. We tend to copy a lot of things, and then when it comes to pasting it, we may have something that we copied like 5 minutes ago, and we don't remember what that is. So basically what Copy Clip does, which I actually learned it on YouTube from somebody, and it's going to store, I want to say up to like 20 different things that you have copied. So it is very, very, very convenient. So, so you don't actually, you don't have to go into the place where you copied something that you don't remember where you copied it from. So that's kind of how you can use that, which is pretty handy. And then the last but not least that I do use is Windscribe. So Windscribe is basically the software that allows you to connect to websites through a different IP address, which, there are some websites that don't allow you to log in if you're outside of the US. So I do use it not very frequently, but it does help to have a VPN. So that's the one that I have been using, which is pretty nice. Like I would shift them sometimes. I used to use a different one, but it just didn't get the job done. So I was like, you know what, let me find another one. So if you want to use a VPN, I do recommend Windscribe. And here I do love to use the sticky notes, which you don't have to install them, they're already here. So you can, change the color, you can change the font and everything. So it is super, super convenient if you need to have something at a glance and like some reminders right here. I do recommend using that. So that's pretty much it with the setup. So yeah, so let me know which other things you are using yourself. So there you go, that's how the whole setup looks like. I really hope this video gave you some insight and gave you some ideas as far as how computer works and what kind of softwares and programs I have installed to make it work for my business. So I really hope this was valuable for you as a coach or a consultant or somebody who has been looking to upgrade your computer. I'm most excited about getting a lot of work done faster, because it's always been a struggle to get a lot of work done on my MacBook Air, and now that I look at them, I feel like the Pro is actually a tad bit smaller than the Air, so I may have to like attach a little picture or something here on the screen. But I'm personally super excited, so let me know to the comment section if you are thinking of an upgrade, if you are, maybe you already got it. Let me know what you think, because I've never personally used the Pro version of the Mac, so super, super excited to dive into this, super excited to, be more efficient. And here's one thing that I will tell you, like a little entrepreneurship tip, because some people always say, oh, like, why would you spend, $1,500 or $2,000 on a computer, which this one was around $1,500. So which I didn't even want to spend, to be honest with you. Like, I totally didn't. I wanted to spend around like $1,000 on a new computer. But then if you think about it, you're going to be way more efficient, and that's your number one tool for you to work on your business. So you do need to invest in that kind of equipment. At least for me personally, I do feel like it's worth it. It's always bringing me the most return on my investment. And it's not something that you buy every single year. I mean, I'm doing my first upgrade in 6 years. So, and basically retiring the Air version. So there you go. So I really hope this video gave you some insights. I really hope this was valuable. So let me know down below to the comment section what you think. And if you enjoy this kind of videos, let me know, because I've never really done this kind of unboxing type of videos. This is fairly new, but I was so excited to open the computer up that I was like, you know what, let me post on YouTube, because I know my audience is gonna get a lot of value from this, especially the customization part. So let me know what you think about that. So I appreciate you. Be sure to hit the subscribe button if you enjoy this kind of videos. Let me know to the comment section what you think. Let me know if you actually use any other tools or apps on your MacBook, so we can, you know, share some ideas. I'm always open to, you know, putting some new things on my Mac, because now I actually do have twice as much space as I used to have on the Air one. So yeah, so let me know, and let me know if you actually enjoy this kind of videos. Maybe I'll post more about, you know, customization and tools and things that can help you grow your business. So with that being said, I appreciate you. Hope you have an amazing day, and be sure to check out these two videos right here if you enjoy all things social media, coaching, and entrepreneurship. And I will see you in the next video. Bye for now.